When I tell y'all that these jobs are sick, I overheard a conversation in the grocery store. It must have been the manager or something. She answered the phone and said, "Well, you need to let us know 2 weeks in advance when you need to take time off." Then after that, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry about like your mother being in the hospital. I hope everything gets well." So you're telling me this person just called you to let them know they need time off. And clearly, it's most likely this just happened. And your response is you need to give 2 weeks in advance to take time off. But if your mother was in the hospital, you would be calling that office as soon as possible to let them know you can't come. The literal audacity, like, I don't even have words. Y'all already know how it is.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
You know, I stepped outside today and it was so hot that I had flashbacks of when I used to work at Amazon. So because of that, I'm going to make a list of the 3 worst jobs I have ever had. I've been working since I was 18 and I'm 24 now. Here's the list. And this ain't in no like particular order, but I already said the first one, so I'm going to start off with that. Amazon delivery driving. And it ain't even the delivery driving that's bad. It wasn't really that bad. But I will say they are going to have your ass out in that field. Rain, sleet, sunshine, or snow. They do not care. And what may make it worse, don't let your van be packed and the majority of your stops are at apartments. Because I can tell you right now, you're not going to have no first, second level drop-offs. All of my drop-offs, whenever I had apartments, were on the 3rd floor. The 3rd fucking floor. I would come home from work so tired sometimes that I would lay down, blink, and be back in the van trying to figure out how the fuck I got here. Body sore as hell. I lost weight. If you want to lose some weight, work for Amazon. But man, that shit ain't easy, especially in the summertime, dog. Oh my Jesus. Second one, and I just hated this job all around, Walmart, specifically the OGP department. And I know other people's experiences may differ, but mine was pretty shitty. Let me tell you why. The first day I was there, the very first fucking day I was there, I was training other people. Some of the people I was training had been there, whether it been a week or a whole year longer than I have. I should have known to leave that very day. What really made me hate the job was the people I was working with. They weren't all bad, but the ones that were bad made it terrible. We had pickers that weren't picking out the right product, so I would have to go in the store and find the customer's orders. I don't know the store, so I'm taking forever. We got orders backed up 2, 3, 4 hours, so it's people outside with an attitude. Like, bro, I couldn't get out that job quick enough, man. I hated working there. And the last job I just didn't like, and it wasn't even the job. It was just the fact that the job wasn't for me. That's a CNA. And if you're a CNA, I just want to let you know right now, you have an ally in the movement to get y'all more money because y'all really do deserve to get paid more. If you're thinking about being a CNA, let me tell you right now, you have to be compassionate to work that job. You have to be a compassionate person. You can't just be in it for the money because as soon as it's time to change Grandpa Earl's diaper, I promise you, bro, I promise you that's really going to test you that first time. The first time I had to change someone, they had diarrhea. It was everywhere. Everywhere. And everybody in there talking about just wear a mask with peppermint oil. The peppermint oil didn't do shit. Didn't do a goddamn thing, man.
Okay, so here's the thing. In 2018, I started working for Tropical Smoothie Cafe, okay? And it was the worst job in the entire world. And honestly, it was one of those jobs where it's bad because the manager is bad. It's not bad because the job is bad because I absolutely love making smoothies and I was so freaking good at it. Like, people would be like, is Jay back there? Is Jay back there? Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Like, I already know what you want. I've already started making it. As soon as I saw you walk through the door, I already started making your order. Like, I was that girl. Right? So anyway, the job was absolutely horrible. And the manager was such a D-bag. And he just thought that he was just like so hotty-totty. But he ended up confiding in me, which you should never do when you know that I don't even like you. Because now I'm going to put you on blast. You know, whatever. I waited a few years, but now it's your time. It's your time, Pete. Stand up. So anyway, he would like use his friend's car, and his friend was like very wealthy, whatever. He would use his friend's car and he would go pick up girls and pretend like it was his car. This is why you don't mess with folks. Anyway, so yeah, he was just like really horrible, and I just like really didn't enjoy him at all. But I went to the University of Alabama, obviously. Not obviously, I didn't mean to say that in a mean way, but I went to the University of Alabama, and So that he would text me, call me when I was in class, when I had tests, and he'd be like, hey, like, I know you have a test today, but I'm just wondering if you can come make 500 smoothies for the football team. And that's not a joke. That is literally not a joke. We need 500 lean machines for the football team right now. Like, I need you to leave school right now. And whenever I was done with the test, you know, whatever, I would miss out on studying, and I would go ahead and go over to the restaurant because he was giving me raises, and like, you know, whatever. It was my first time having like a big girl job, like away from home. I just started school, whatever. So I was doing it, whatever. But then I just got tired of doing it because then I was like, you know, I think I'm going to change my major to nursing. Like, I really need to buckle down on studying because before I was pre-med and then I was nursing. And so I was like, no, like, I'm not going to come in. And he was like, he put in the group chat, like the big group chat, he was like, guys, we really need to start being team players. What? Like, directed at me. And then he just like texted me going on and on and on, going off on me. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry. He was like, we need to come in for a one-on-one meeting. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it because I quit. And I felt like such a baddie at the time. My mom was like, okay, well, you're a baddie, but you need to find another job. So I found another job, ended up working at Plato's Closet. That was the second worst job that I've ever had in my entire life. Like, it was horrible. I thought it was going to be so cool because I absolutely loved Plato's Closet at the time. But I just, it wasn't good because, and I should have known there was a red flag because as soon as I was interviewing for the job, and the guy, he was the only guy that worked there, he was like telling me, he was like, okay, well, you got the job. But I'm just letting you know that like, if any of the girls are mean to you, just let me know because we had a really big problem with bullying because a lot of the girls that work here are mean girls. And I was like, okay, like, you know, it's fine, whatever, just trying to get that bag. Like, I really don't care. Like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make a check. Amen. So anyway, I ended up meeting this girl. Her name was Kari. I'm sparing no names. And she was so freaking mean. She was so freaking mean to me. Like, I ended up having a pilonidal cyst. If you don't know what that is, look it up. But it's basically like where you have like a pimple on your bum from like sitting for too long and it gets huge. It's horrible. So anyway, I couldn't walk, I could barely stand, and I remember crying to my mom. I was like, Mom, literally if somebody attacks me, like, they're gonna just have to attack me because I can't run. I could not move my leg without sending shockwaves of pain through my body. And whenever you worked at Plato's Closet, you had to like wear fashionista like type clothes, which is so freaking stupid. And so I wore like these sweatpants jogger kind of things, like not even sweatpants, like more like joggers. And she was like, maybe let's not come to work just like a homeless person. What? She was so mean. And then like when the pandemic happened, because I got hired like maybe 2-3 weeks before the pandemic happened, she was like, no, you're gonna stay at school. Like, I'm gonna talk to your administrators and I'm gonna get you to stay so that we can keep you on the schedule. It was so horrible. And she was so horrible. And she was in nursing school, which just further proves the point that like a lot of mean girls end up going to nursing school, and she was definitely one of them. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Okay, so these are the top 3 worst jobs I ever worked for. Okay, these are the worst jobs that I ever worked for. I'm pretty sure if you work for these jobs, you can attest to this. Okay, now watch this. Okay, first we're going to start the list with Amazon. Okay, I used to work at Amazon warehouse. And when I tell you they're going to work you like a slave, they're going to work you like a damn slave out there. Like, seriously. Only thing they missing is the whips and chains. I'm telling you, like, yeah, the paychecks be okay. It'd be cool. It'd be decent. But you're never going to have time to actually spend your check. I mean, it's good if you want to save money. But if you actually want to go out and have fun and actually live a regular life, yeah, Amazon wasn't for me. Too much work. Crazy. Okay, next on the list, you got Walmart. Now, when I worked at Walmart, it was pretty cool. It was pretty decent. I used to work in the deli department. But the thing about Walmart is it's retail. In retail, you got to deal with customers. You got to be a people person, which I'm not. Okay, this is a super center. You got customers ask me about 55-inch plasma screen TVs. Bitch, this is the fucking deli. Do you want turkey or ham? Pepper jack or American cheese? I don't know nothing about electronics. You got to go over there and ask them. Like, you know, working with retail, when you clock out and, like, go to lunch or break, all the customers think that you're still on the clock because you got your uniform still on. Lady, don't ask me shit. I'm trying to get to the car. Leave me alone. Ask somebody. Okay, and last but not least, any job that you got to get paid on commission. Okay, I used to work for AT&T. I used to knock on people's door and try to sell them internet connection. Knocking on doors is the worst job you can have. Definitely if you're growing up in Baltimore City. Growing up in Baltimore City, you knock on somebody's door, they might fuck around and shoot you. That was the worst job ever. I hate it.
So I was just thinking about the jobs that I've had in the past, and I think the worst job by far was when I was a waitress at a catering hall. Bro, I went through hell with that job. Went through hell. Like, I'm talking about like working 12-hour shifts and getting paid like not even $100. Fuck that place. Yeah, they ended up getting sued, as they should. I had the worst fucking people, the worst. I had a lady call me a bitch because I didn't bring her Shirley Temple the moment she asked me for it. Like, damn, lady, like, I have 8 other tables that I'm waiting and you're calling me a bitch? A bitch is crazy. And they wouldn't tip. No. For what? We're slaves. Why would they tip us? It was awful. Awful. I'm sure it's still bad. Fuck that place. Fuck that place. That place in urban... I'm not gonna say their names. They treated us like shit. Like shit. And then I'm not even talking about the customers. I remember one time they told us we couldn't call out. at all. And if we called out, we got punished for it. They would basically cut your hours. You're not allowed to call. You're not allowed to be sick. You're not allowed to be sick in retail. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to be sick in retail. If you're sick in retail, you basically lost your job. Be healthy or get out, essentially, is their motto. So don't get me wrong. Their discounts were, I guess, clutch. And I remember one time I was buying a gift for one of my friends in a completely different store in New York. I was working in Boston. I was buying a gift in New York. And I had someone with me, but they weren't paying for it. I was paying for it. But someone was with me and I was using the discount. Tell me why the manager from that store, I don't even think it was the manager, the cashier from that store called my store to let them know I was using a discount for someone else. And that wasn't the case at all. But the fact that someone would go that far, like, you're really that loyal to a company that don't give a fuck about you? They will fire you in a heartbeat. I feel for y'all. I feel for y'all who work in retail. I really do. I really do. I feel for y'all who work in retail and any kind of service job and position. I feel for y'all.
I went to work on a ranch in Colorado like 4 months ago. The white people had me fucked up. Let me tell y'all this story. I found it on coolworks.com. It was a cool ranch in like Colorado. I don't want to say what city because I don't want to expose them. But maybe I should because like, don't go. Basically, I get there and I'm like, okay, whatever. I know it's going to be a little different. They don't have no Southern hospitality up there. I learned real quick. But I get there. I love my roommate. She follows me on here. Kat, if you see this, I love you. She's great, but she's not from Colorado. She's from the South as well. But like, it was a serving job. I was there serving food. And I knew it was banquet serving. It wasn't like normal serving. I was fine with that. And they told me there was a tip share. They didn't tell me it was a tip share between not only all the servers, but the whole ranch. Like, bro. And it also wasn't like a normal restaurant. It was a dude ranch. So basically they bring in a big group of people who rent out the entire ranch for like a week and you just serve them food. So it's not like new customers coming in and out. Again, I was totally fine with that. I was like, I can make it work. It's not too bad. Then we got to start serving outside. Mind you, I thought it was Colorado. I was thinking it was going to be cold in August. No, baby, it was hot. So I done brought all this like cold outfits and stuff. I'm burning up. But they got us banquet serving outside too. So basically everybody's in the line, like the food's on the line on the table and the people walk out their plates and you put the food on their plate. Tell me why there were so many flies. Like dead ass, all the flies were in the food, like in the baked beans. They had they had this big ass pig. Like, you know how they have the pig and then you eat out of it? They had it like that. But bro, when I tell you it was flies all in the pig, I swear I got a video. I know I got a video. I couldn't find a photo, but when I tell you flies were in the meat, bro, it was disgusting. They wanted me to pick up the food with the flies in it and put it on their plate for them to eat. Of course, when you put it on the plate, then the flies will fly away. But the people were fine. Like, the customers, they were used to it. They were like, oh, this is normal. Me having to pick up flies, bro, I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. I was flabbergasted. And I begged them. I was like, please, instead of serving the food, can I just be like a runner? Or like, can I just bust and get the people's plates and like glasses? And they started letting me do that. But then the manager was like, no, she needs to do more. With bugs. Bro, it got worse. There were flies, but then yellow jackets started coming out. Yellow jacket bees were in the food. Like, literally, I pick up food, and the yellow jackets will be swarming around my hand as I put it on their plate, bro. Like, I was so just like, I'm not doing this. And they were like, oh, just swat it away. Swat a yellow jacket away? Are you fucking kidding? I was so mad. I was like, listen, y'all, I can't do this. Find something else for me to do. I'll even be a prep cook. Like, I'll do anything else. You were like, no, you gotta do this. Literally, I go to the manager. I'm like, listen, bro, there's yellow jackets. I can't do this. This girl goes, you know, I think that's just the hump we're gonna have to get over. Bitch, are you fucking... You're insane. Because no, I keep working. That's the thing. I keep going, bro. The last night that I'm there, mind you, I get there in September. I'm supposed to stay till January. This is 7 days into it. Also, the agreement was that after every 5 days, I get a 2-day break. Why was I working 8 days straight? And on the 8th and final night, this is when a real big thing happened that really was my final straw. I was like, I'm booking a plane and I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. Hold on. The time's ending, so I'm going to make a part 2.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's continue the video.
Entrepreneurship. I figured that I would also start a TikTok series about my top 5 worst job experiences, because I know we all have them, but a lot of people are scared to talk about it, but I'm not scared to talk about mine. So in undergrad, I thought that I wanted to be a news reporter. I thought I wanted to be a journalist. So I was trying to find any entry-level job in a news station that was local to me that I could get my foot into. So some way, how, way of another, my resume ended up on the desk of the sales manager for WBTM, which is a NBC affiliate station. So I ended up going up there. I interviewed, and I remember thinking to myself, like, this seems too good to be true, because I had been applying for internships and had never gotten any calls back, whatever. And I also remember going, when I went into the interview to speak with the young lady whose position I was taking, I remember her not fully answering any of my questions, but it just seemed like she was like trying to hurry up and like put somebody in the position. But again, I was 21 years old, so in my mind, I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, I'm just happy that they called me for an interview or whatever, basically. So I ended up starting or whatever. So I ended up starting the job or whatever, and within like 3 days of me starting, so the first day, the girl who was supposed to train me, she wasn't there. Like, that should have been my first red flag, but again, 21, naive, just happy to be there. So I'm there. The girl wasn't there the first day, and I think the next week she ended up calling off like twice during that week because she had to do something with her child. Now, let's get to the part where this is like October 2021. So literally, like, maybe I started like, I think October the like 10th. October 18th, this girl tells me like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna be leaving for 3 months because I'm gonna go have surgery. Come to find out, she ended up going and having a fucking BBL, right? So I just started this job. I have not been adequately trained, and yet they stuck me in a position. So those of you who are not familiar with the news world, I was a sales assistant. So a sales assistant, my primary job was putting fucking commercials on TV. Do y'all know how fucking stressful it is to make sure that a commercial is running properly on TV? And not only that, like, it may not have been a hard job, but I did not get trained. Like, they literally were just trying to fill a position before this girl went and had her fucking BBL. I swear to God, like, I cannot make this up. So it was literally like top 5 worst job experiences for me, because when I literally started, within 2 weeks, the girl, she literally left to go get a fucking BBL. She was out for 3 months. Like, she didn't come back until it was time until Christmas time. She didn't come back till Christmas time, like going on in January, and then even then, she wasn't even there every single day. And they ended up sticking me with this lady who had been doing putting commercials on TV since fucking Kennedy got assassinated. So I went from being trained by like a fucking millennial to being trained by a fucking baby bloomer, and it was just the worst experience ever. I think I ended up, like, it was so bad, y'all, to the point, anytime I got an Outlook notification on my fucking phone, I would have like a mini heart attack, because I was that anxious. Because every time I got an email, I was scared that it was coming in saying like, oh my God, this commercial's running wrong. I ended up resigning because I just could not take the stress. I could not take the stress anymore. I'm like, y'all didn't train me. Y'all didn't give me the proper tools I needed to be successful, but yet y'all want me to come out and be like kick ass with this job. And it's just like, I just couldn't take that stress on anymore. But get this. So yeah, like, my anxiety was just through the roof. Like I said, to the point where anytime I got an Outlook notification, like, I would have a fucking mini panic attack. And it got so bad to the point where I think it was like 2 weeks before I ended up just resigning and just said, fuck this shit, I can't do it anymore. Because I was also still in school, y'all, at the time too. I think it was like my junior coming up on senior year in college, and I'm like, I'm not about to risk my GPA for a job that isn't even going to guarantee me a position in the newsroom. So I ended up resigning. But like I was saying, 2 weeks before I ended up resigning, I ended up in the hospital because I was having fucking panic attacks because of this fucking job that they did not train me for. They had me putting commercials on TV for a major television station. They had me make commercials on TV, and they didn't even properly train me. But the crazy part about it is that, so I think I ended up costing the station maybe like 15 to 20 grand in like misran commercials. Some of that I think they were able to like get credits for or whatever. But again, I didn't feel bad, because when I got to the point where I was ready to resign, I didn't feel bad, because I'm like, fuck y'all, because y'all put me in a position where I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and y'all let this girl leave and go get a fucking BBL and leave me here to be a place filler instead of actually training me so that I can be an asset to the team and not a fucking liability. Which I should have known something was wrong because like 2 of the actual sales agents quit while I was working there. So that should have been a tell-all sign right there within itself. But then the last crazy, I don't know, my glasses keep sliding, y'all, but then the last crazy part about the whole thing is that the girl whose position I took, when I ended up resigning, tell me why she went around like bad-mouthing me to her friends who were actual mutual friends of mine, saying how I left her hanging and she helped me get the job and how I didn't appreciate it. And it's like, ma'am, you trained me for 1 full week and expected me to know how to put a fucking commercial on TV, and you left for 3 months to go get a BBL, and then you left me for the training to be picked up by a bitch that had been putting fucking commercials on television since Kennedy got assassinated. So that pissed me off within itself. And crazy thing is, like, I just saw her a few weeks ago, but I don't really have much to say because here's the thing. I don't like black women who are bullies in fucking corporate. I'm just gonna say that. That's a whole nother video within itself. But that's the kind of energy that I got from her, and I think that she wanted to use me as like make me into her like little minion to follow her around and do this and do that. Because then she also made a comment saying, well, if Haley would have just stuck around, she could have been in my old position, blah blah. And it's like, bitch, first of all, I did not want to work in sales. I've never wanted to work in sales. I used this position as a stepping stone because I thought that I wanted to work in journalism, but that was before I realized that the journalists don't really have any play on what they get to say on the news. It's all the producers, and even then, sometimes when you're at a really heavily controlled environment, a heavy control station, you still don't even have any play. So it's like, are you really making a difference, or are you just reporting and spitting out what the people are feeding you? But that's another story within itself. Now, I'm my own. Well, I am my own boss because I have 2 businesses, one in which I co-own. But yeah, now I'm doing so much better. Like, it's a whole other thing. But I gotta think about my other corporate experiences, and I'll get back to y'all and I'll rank them all. But that's definitely number 1. Like, that was the worst job I've ever had in my fucking life.
My worst job experience by far was Safeway. So I stocked there, I think about 3 years ago or so. But oh my goodness, I hated that job with a passion. Number 1, the people were so lazy. Number 2, everyone was so sad at that job. Every single person. Nobody was happy at all. Not a single person. Right? And number 3, the managers were horrible. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea how to run a store. Not a clue. Not a clue whatsoever. One day I just came home and I was just lost for words. Stood right there. Said nothing. Said nothing to anyone. No hi, no hey, no how are you guys doing? Nothing. I just came home and I went straight into my room. I didn't speak to anybody or anything like that. But yeah. Man, I hated Safeway. And I worked at Safeway for about maybe 3 months, about 3 to 4 months. But oh my goodness, worst months of my life. Yeah, it's not it. Not a good job at all.
Do you guys want to hear the craziest story I had at a job? That I literally quit, like, I think a few days after because it was so fucking ridiculous. And I told everybody this story and I cried and cried. I was so upset. So in the beginning of last year, before I got the job that I have now, God bless, I've had this job for a year. I love it. And they treat me so well. I worked at a farm for about a month. And I worked wasn't there shoveling shit. I was there as a social media person. So, like a social media designer person. So I was desperate for a job, and I got the job with them. First of all, the owner is a bona fide, lack of a better word, cunt. She is not a good person. Just not, flat out, not a good person. Like, she would have people come into, like, the office and give her, like, I think 2 hours worth of advice on what she should do social media-wise and advertising-wise. And she'd be like, we're not really going to do any of that. Why the fuck are you wasting everybody's time then? Whatever. So the story that I have to tell you is that one day I came into the office, right? I get there, and then she doesn't even get there at 9 a.m. She doesn't even hold herself to the standard that she holds everybody else to. She gets there a little bit later. Granted, she has kids, just take them to school, so I don't care. That's the benefit you get when you own the business. I don't give a fuck. That's not even the problem, right? My problem is, she picks me up from the office, and she says, oh, we're going to go on a little field trip. Bring your laptop and bring your charger. And I was like, huh? I was like, okay. So I bring my laptop, I bring my phone, and I look at the other girl that's working there. I'm like, what's going on? She takes me in her car. We go to Publix to pick up fucking snacks for her kid and take snacks for her kid to her school. And then while we're driving in the car, she's expecting me to work. And I'm like, why the fuck did you do this? Why the fuck did you do this, lady? You couldn't just put this in an email or in a phone call? A text, maybe? What are we, living in the fucking Stone Ages? Whatever. So I'm like, I just don't understand. She's like, oh, like, it's just easier when you're working here with me. I'm like, no. She did not know how to fucking communicate at all. And that pissed me off. Like, if you were going to have somebody working under you, learn how to fucking communicate. I should not have to come with you. Listen to this. So we pull up somewhere called the Green. After we take a fucking sandwich to her kid at school, we pull up to somewhere called the Greenery Mall. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, we're going to go buy stuff for the farm. Which is normal, you know, we'll go like TJ Maxx or something and buy like little decorations to the farm, you know. No. You know where she takes me? To her fucking nail and hair appointment. She's not just getting her nails done. She's not just getting her hair done. She's getting both done. And you know what she expects me to do? She tells me, sit down over there, plug in the charger, and work from there in her fucking nail salon. In her nail salon and her hair salon, she wants me to pull up my laptop and work from there. That point, I was already feeling degraded. Like, I was already like, this is my wit's end. And like, she had me there so she could tell me what to do, and she wasn't even fucking paying attention to me. She wasn't even telling me anything. She was just sitting there on her phone eating shit. I was like, then why the fuck am I here? And I couldn't leave. I had no option to leave and quit right there on the spot because I didn't have my fucking car or my keys. So I sit there and I stick it out, and I'm there working for her, whatever, at her fucking nail salon. And you know what she does? This is not even, that was the worst part. That's so funny. That's so fucking funny. She actually left me there. She said, oh, fuck, I don't have time. Tell the other girl that's in the office to come pick you up. Mind you, it's not that close. You have to get on the turnpike for that. And I'm like, the bitch gets in her car and leaves me there. So the other girl has to come and pick me up. So at that point, I'm like, oh, I think I'm being disrespected, right? Like, I think this can't be right. But you know what? Let me not jump the gun. Maybe this is a normal thing that this lady does. Maybe she does it to this other girl. So the other girl comes. And so she comes and she's like laughing. She's like, I can't believe that happened to you. And I'm like, no fucking shit. I can't believe that happened to me. Like, she was like dumbfounded that she would even fucking do that to me. I'm like, dude, the bitch fucking left me here. No car. I had no fucking option to leave. She basically kidnapped me. And then when I quit, they gave me like a phone for, you know, their company, whatever. When I quit, I went to the farm and I left the phone at like, we were working from the farm that day. I left the phone on one of the little portables and I got my shit and I got the fuck out and I went home. And then I sent her a text and said, girl, I'm quitting, fuck you. Look, not like that, but like basically just saying like, hey, I don't agree with the management here. Like, this is a hot fucking mess. I don't want to work here anymore. Like, I resign effective immediately. The fucking the gall this lady has to think that she's not in the wrong. She goes, well, can we talk about this like adults? Like adults? Like adults, you left me at your fucking hair appointment. You're cheap, you're disgusting little cheap ass. Couldn't even give me an Uber back to the office. You had to make the other girl come pick me up. And you want to talk about this like adults? Cágate parado, estúpida. I could not even fucking believe she said that to me. Like, it just baffles me to this day that I even had that job and that I even got treated like that. But yeah, that's my story with Shmeenez Farms. Cannot believe that actually happened to me. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.